This
Good.
conference will now be recorded.
So today is Wednesday, June 10th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. I can't believe we're a third through the month already. This month is really just flying so far, and we've had some really great trading. But one thing that we want to remember is today is Wednesday. Wednesdays have typically been one of our slower, kind of more choppy type days. So just understand that going into the morning with what the personality has typically been showing us. So first thing I'm going to be looking at is DPW. So basically the entire way that we've been pushing up, we've been seeing some really good buying. Originally, we did have some ask prints that came in right underneath that 450 level. And we can see we're pushing back. Beautiful position just taken there from 43 up to 46. And we can just continuously see that buying coming in. So one thing that we do want to keep into account is that we're coming up towards that 5 level. And a lot of times, even though it has the buying for that 5, once we get kind of closer around that 475 level, we're going to see a lot of selling that starts to come into there. We don't really typically see it push all the way into the 5 unless they're really expecting it to go a lot higher than that. So keep that in mind as we're going in and looking at what their game plans are going to be based off the 450 prints that we just got. Nothing too crazy, but gonna have to expect a little bit of a pullback based off of the selling reaction that we got almost immediately after. But overall buying is just absolutely phenomenal. It's been one of those, another stock where just really, really great pre-market trading. We begin a lot of these. So one thing just to remember is that at 8 o'clock, you know what? Usually we don't see things pick up till 8:30, 8:45, but really 8 o'clock, we've been seeing a lot of really great trades happening. There's nothing like starting your day off with a nice, easy pre-market before the market even opens. All right, next thing I'm going to be looking at is VRM. So we know yesterday, my biggest problem that I have here is that it just not trading once the market does open. I know yesterday volume was pretty good, but that it was also because it was an IPO. But the thing I do like about this stock is that the print personality is just very, very easy to be able to read. So you can see that 52 right here, even though it doesn't look like a lot, is definitely a big position in comparison to everything else that we see out there. So overall, going to be expecting a pretty substantial pullback from here, based off of how much that really does come out to be. And then from there, obviously looking for a trigger back towards that upside. Earlier this morning, starting at 8, we didn't really get anything that's too great. If you look at the actual prints themselves, just not really much. So seeing that coming in at 52 is definitely a big deal, definitely somebody that we're going to want to follow. Now, LK, still going to be watching. This is another one where it's a pretty simple pre-market trade coming into this morning. My only thing is that it hasn't really been printing that great. I mean, you can see 450 right here. I definitely like that a lot. Talking about 853, so we really still haven't pulled back as much as we would have expected from there. But look at the reaction. It isn't really that much selling to tell us that we really do need to make that big pullback. But just based off our rules alone, we're definitely going to be, anticipating seeing that selling coming in to bring us back down, and then obviously, trying to get past that 5 level is not going to be an easy thing. We're going to be expecting gains to be coming there, but volume overall is great, and it's actually been trading pretty well. Although, unfortunately, it does get kind of halted a little bit, and sometimes it does get a little bit sloppy. But so far this morning, definitely liking what I'm seeing there. Next thing, IZEA. So as we, right before we started our morning, you can see some beautiful buying that came into this to really push, a 20-cent move in a stock like this is a very big deal. So if we come back and we look at the actual buying and substance behind it, wasn't great. Okay, we've seen a lot better, and I really wish I would have seen a little bit more building. But you could see, over at that 2, we just need to see that continued new buying coming into position at 198 that we just saw come back. I definitely like what I see there, but that 2 level, I really want to see them be able to test that order that's sitting there. And overall, we know that somebody's going to be sitting at 2. It is acting as a pretty strong resistance point. So we need to see a little bit more buying to show us, and obviously that's why it's going to be on our side list. Excuse me. And then Genus, GNUS, another one that I'm still going to be watching today because the stock has been really, really great trading. And if you're able to get shares, a lot of the shorts are not that hard at all. I mean, they really kind of telegraph them. The only thing is that as we pushed up towards the 6, I didn't see anything that was that great. I don't think it's going to let me go back now. But yeah, early this morning when I started looking at it about 8:15, really wasn't that much in it that I really cared. You had some decent that was at 550, but not as much around the highs as we'd ever like, we would really like to see. So the fact of it not holding 5 makes perfect sense because it just didn't have the buying to show that it should be able to continue up above there. So really coming back underneath that 5 level, we want to see what our reaction is going to be. And we can see, it's just a little bit mixed. So overall, definitely with the type of day that it's Wednesday typically is, I'm going to want to see a lot more come into something before we really make any decisions, especially on a cheaper stock like this, which once the market opens, we could just see a ton of buying just come in because we know that overall up at the tops, there was a huge amount that really hasn't been satisfied, and it's just been kind of taking a hit ever since that day where, pushing up above that 11 area. So overall, going to need to see a little bit more, but it has been trading very well. Our range for such a cheap stock has been very good. So I'm definitely want to keep my eye on that. And then just a few other things. I mean, there's nothing else that I'm really that, excited about, but Dow just out of nowhere had that really nice move. Volume wasn't that great, so the fact that it's coming back down, just something interesting to look at. And other than that, it's kind of just, HTZ is another one that's been kind of smooth. You can see just, coming back down. I was able to get shares earlier, so definitely go out there and see just for both ways, on this. But it has been a real nice trading stock. And you're talking about, yesterday, a $2.40 move on a stock that's, that's under $4 is, you can't really ask for much more than that. So just another one going to be looking at. But other than that, guys, it's definitely a little bit slow out there this morning. Now, anything else out there that I missed? Anything else out there that anybody sees? Not today. FOMC today at Wednesday, 2 o'clock. So we should get, a nice little volume push into there, but then, just keep in mind things are typically going to get a little bit slower as we get past that 11 because of the meeting itself. All right, guys, so let's get ready for our morning. Remember, Traders Exchange at 12:30. I will put that link out a little bit later on in the morning. Other than that, I will talk to everyone in the chat, and happy trading.